Hey up me ducks, it's Simon here. How are we all doing today? Or this evening, depending on where you are in the world. Let's pop open. I've got one of those weird bobbly things happening because I put the coat hanger. Is it a coat? Yeah, it is a coat hanger, isn't it? It didn't sound right then. I thought I'm not talking about a coat. In wrong instead of each bit. So I've got this annoying, and I had my pendant on, but it didn't feel right against it, so I'm paranoid about it now, but it is what it is. But how are we? We've got 42 people here already. I hope everybody's remembering that the new start time-ish, 5 past, just to allow for the clap for carers. It's good to see everybody in here. Just give people a minute or two to file in. So as you know, with Throwback Thursday, I don't go for everybody's names. I just do a collective hello because this is watched back, because it's people like to learn about the deck, etc. So it's a bit different to a live chat. But if you want to join in, then put capitals, put your comments in capitals for me, or start them in the Hermit's Cave. And moderators, if I do miss anybody, then please, highlight it to me. So it felt strange not doing Quarren stream today as well. I don't do them on the Thursdays, because of Throwback Thursday. But yeah, it felt really strange when it came to 5 o'clock. But I uploaded a video at 5 anyway, so that at least there was something. And then put this on as a scheduled post. So everybody's saying hello to each other. So Throwback Thursday, number 32. 32 weeks of Throwback Thursdays. So it's good to be here with you this evening. So we're going to be looking at the Efflorescent tarot. And I've had this, 2017, so about 3 years now. And at one time, it was my second favourite deck ever. I absolutely love it. It's still up there, in one of my all-time favourite. Jilly says she loves this deck. All-time favourite tarot decks. It is beautiful. Doesn't come with a book or even a little white book, and the box is just a plain box. Efflorescent means bursting into flower, so that's the kind of theme, the inspiration for the deck. And whilst flowers do kind of feature in there, they're not prominent throughout the deck. But this deck originally was black and white. It's pen and ink drawings, and I like to see the colour version that I've got as that efflorescent, because it's bursting into flower, into colour. But of course, the original black and white deck was called Efflorescent as well. But there is a lot of energy in this deck. It is absolutely beautiful. And I like its style. There are so many decks out there. This isn't me, it's not a criticism on me saying I don't like them, because I do. Everything has its place. But there are so many polished decks out there, or have had some sort of enhancement, digital enhancement in some way. But this deck, with its sketchiness, its pencil and pen and ink work, and now with the addition of beautiful, vibrant colours, is it out of print? I don't believe so. I heard recently that the black and white has come back. And I keep meaning, it's one of those things like, right, well, when it's payday, I shall look at that. And I keep meaning to check that out, because when I first got this deck, and I was so obsessed with it, I thought, I'd love to get the black and white. And that was out of print. But now, from what I understand, they're both available. So unless that's changed recently. So this deck has been around since 2012, so a good 8 years now. The artist and creator is Peony Archer, and I like that as well, Peony, because, Efflorescent, Bursting into Flower. It is independently produced, and I think it's still available. You get it from Etsy and other places, but in the main Etsy. Oh, then indeed a good time for this video. Yeah. So like I said, I've had this since 2017. It was actually a gift, and it was one of the first gifts that I received, and it came all the way from a subscriber in India, and it was really a treasured moment because I was very new to YouTube, and to think that somebody had sent me a gift was just really nice. It made it even more special. So this, I don't think this will take that long actually, because normally I talk about a book and I talk about the packaging and everything else, or read from the packaging. And as you can see, this is just a plain white box with a card mounted on the front cover, and that's the back as well. You open it up and you've got this little cotton wool, and then just a little piece of paper, which I'll read. It says, the Efflorescent Tarot, produced over a period of 2 years between 2009 and 2011. The Efflorescent, which is an adjective for bursting into flower, tarot is a fully functional deck illustrated in the RWS tradition. Like all myths and fables, the deck provides a marginal space between real world and an interior landscape. I love that. Between the real world and an interior landscape. Producing, printing and publishing this deck has been a long and rewarding process, and at no step has it involved a third party. Each deck comes directly from me to you. Thank you for giving this a home. All my best, Peony Coin Archer. So, and that's just lovely. And you do get that sense of a handcrafted deck. No third party involvement whatsoever. And I remember using this deck as an example, which I won't go into now, but I kind of reviewed a deck that was also a hand produced deck, and I didn't think the quality was very good, and I use this as an example of what could be produced, you know, so no excuse really. For me, it kind of sets a bar. What else? So yeah, card size, they're really quite big. They're like an oracle card size. So let me give you a comparison. So they're a little bit taller and quite a bit wider. So they are a nice, decent card size. And they kind of remind me of like a, I don't know, a Hay House Oracle. A Hay House Oracle card size. Cardstock is really nice. It's not the strongest, sorry, the thickest, but it's quite strong and durable. And it has a lovely, smooth finish to it. So they're not glossy, but there is like a smooth sheen, like that superior smooth that you can get from Make Playing cards. Robin says, Peony Archer, she's from New Hope, Pennsylvania. My first home away from home. Yeah, she did do the Little Monsters Tarot. Yeah, she did. But we're talking about the Efflorescent tonight. So card size is 3.5 inches by 5 inches. So a nice sizable deck. The back design I really like. It's black and white. And I do remember at the time when this became a colour deck, I think people were expecting this to be coloured as well. But it's so intricate, so delicate. And it's, again, you know, pen and ink. It's a floral design. It is reversible, as you can see. And it's just really beautiful. I really love that back. And Jen says she loves the backing as well. Yeah, really lovely. Yeah, so other than just saying, it's pen and ink and there's vibrant colours, and Peony herself said it's kind of like a meeting of the inner landscape and the real world. This deck for me as well is very, I'm not going to say whimsical, but it's very dreamlike, and it's not, I don't have many decks like this in my collection, put it that way. It is quite unique. The artwork is gentle, and as I say, quite delicate, but it's also quite hard hitting, and it's very thought-provoking when you read with this deck. It did get some criticism about the fact that all the faces look really sad, and I don't know if I'd go as far as to say sad, but there's certainly a melancholy, which I suppose technically is another word for sad, isn't it? But it's not depressing. It doesn't. You don't look at it and think, "Oh my gosh, I just want to cry." There is that sort of, there's that expression of melancholy, and the reason why I quite like that and resonate with that is because when I reach for this deck to work with it, it's because it does express my mood. So I tend to go for this deck when I'm feeling a little bit out of sorts, or a little bit down in the dumps, or a little bit melancholy. And that might sound strange because a lot of people will go for an upbeat deck, but I'm not like that. As I've said to you before, I see the tarot as a mirror, and I want to have a look at what's going on, and I want the tarot to mirror me in my life state, in whatever life state I'm experiencing at that time. Anything else to say before I show you the cards? What have I written here? Yeah, as I say, there are flowers in the deck, but it's not because the Efflorescent tarot means burst into flowers. I don't want people to think it's a botanical deck or deck about flowers. It's not. The majority of the cards don't have flowers, but there is that sense of efflorescence throughout all of the cards and images, because it's so rich with vibrant colours, and that's what I really like. I might have struggled with the title with the black and white deck, having said that. Okay, so yeah, I certainly don't think the images are miserable, but I do think there's a sense of melancholy in them. I'm just seeing if there's any quick questions or comments before I start to show the cards. They're super glossy now. Oh no, really? That is such a shame that they're super glossy, because one of the things I love about this deck is the feel of the cards, that they feel matte and there's a shine to them, but they're not got any lamination or gloss. So, or if there is lamination, then it's, I don't think there is. I think it's just the card stock. I got the colouring book. Yeah, there's colouring books as well, which is the original black and white images. Somebody mentioned in Becca's chat, actually, either last night or the night before, because I commented to Becca, and I don't think she saw it, that she should tell her sister, because, Becca's sister, Lucy, does beautiful colourings, and it might have even been you, Chris, to say that there was a colouring book version of these cards. Well, not of these cards, but of her art. Sometimes you need a sad deck. Yes, exactly. I agree, Selkie. You do. You need to see yourself represented and then do the work as to why. Okay, so as it says, it follows a Rider-Waite-Smith system. However, the majors aren't numbered. They do have titles, but they're not numbered. So even though it follows an RWS system, you can place the strength at 8 or 11. It makes no odds, because once they're shuffled and laid down, it doesn't matter, does it? And then the minors just have Roman numerals, except of course for the courts, which have titles. So let's look at the majors first. So here we have our Fool, which is lovely. And look at the design in the sun's rays. Really beautiful. And this is a really interesting take on the Fool, because this Fool is blindfolded. So it still gives that sense of, you know, being cautious, imminent danger. But, and there is still the warning dog. But this Fool is having to rely, if it's going on a journey blindfolded, is going to have to rely on what's going on in here. You know, that intuition, that still small voice, that heart, gut, whatever it is. We spoke about that yesterday, didn't we? And this Fool has already took the first step over the edge of the cliff as well. I think that is the best Fool I have seen. It is beautiful. It's really beautiful. There's lots of detail as well, but I love that design in the sun. Here we have the Magician. And this is somebody who's involved in spell work. Look at the shelves behind and all the books and potions and herbs and, you know, what a great magician. Really lovely. I like the detail. Yeah, there's loads of detail here. Really nice. And of course, as well as having all the tools, he's got his main tools here representing... no, I won't trim this, Nicole. No, I would not trim this. I quite like the size of this deck. And yeah, I love everything about it. So here's, again, you know, there's that melancholy expression for our High Priestess. But she's beautiful. And we've got a kind of a different perspective. It's kind of tilted like 45 degrees. We've still got the B and the J, the black and the white pillars. We've got the Taurus scrolls. But look, her expression is quite forlorn. Love the blue colouring. Yeah, it's really nice. It's very lightly shaded, you know. And I think that was needed because you imagine this was first produced as a black and white deck, you know. You could go too far, couldn't you? But it's quite nice shading. I love our Empress. One of the most beautiful cards in the deck. Look at the sun setting in the background. We have the crescent moon. She's out with nature. I love this stream, you know, the water that we see. But that setting sun. I just got caught by a comment then about a divorce because of pets. I'm like, what? Yeah, and again, really lovely red colour. Ah, really beautiful. And what I like with this deck, here we have our Emperor, but when you put them side by side, they're facing each other. It's really nice. I like that, especially if you happen to pull them together in a spread. But yeah, really lovely Emperor card. Oh, thank you, Naomi. Naomi's put a link to where you can get this deck. Naomi, did you look and notice if there is a black and white version still available? Claire, you've got morning sickness. Hi, Nikki. Our Hierophant, beautiful. It's got his Hierophant staff. The cross keys are there. So as you can see, like Peony says, it's very much in line with the RWS edition. But it's really nice. And you get this sense of, I don't know, some real religious institution, like an old cathedral with its vaults or something. I will look now. Oh, you are a star. The lovers. I like this lovers card, but they're very sinewy and quite scrawny. But yeah, it's still really nice. It's beautiful. I love the nature scene. I love the bird up in the tree. So really beautiful. And look by the stream, look how blue the water is. So the use of colour is really nice. You get this soft, almost like pastel colours, and then really bold, vivid colours as well. Look at this. Look at the chariot, the Sphinx, and really lovely. Again, we get a similar type of sun to what we saw in the Fool card. Gingerface said they're so lost in each other they forgot to eat. I love that. Isn't that beautiful? Strength is gorgeous. I don't know why I say that, because I think most cards in this deck are gorgeous. Simon, can I be a nuisance and see the back again? Of course you can. There's the back. It's the pen and ink. Very intricate details of this floral design that actually is just, you could fold it either way, couldn't you? And it'll be a mirror image of the other. Really beautiful. So yeah, anyway, the strength card, which is really lovely. No forcing of the jaw or anything like that. It's just a loving embrace. I always wanted to hug a great cat. Yeah. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that YouTube video. If I can remember later, I'll post a link to into the Hermit's Cave. But there was this guy who raised a lion cub until it was too old that they couldn't raise it anymore, and he had to set it off into the wild. And years later, and I'm talking years later, something maybe 11, 12, maybe more years later, he went and found it, and he stood and looked, and he thought, that's the lion. And the lion came bounding towards him, you know, and he's sitting there thinking, oh my goodness, is he going to rip him to pieces? And the lion just jumps and hugs this man and is licking him, and then there's this music playing. Oh, it has you in tears. Beautiful. That's Christian the Lion. That's it, Melissa. Christian the Lion. Yes. Donna says, if you come visit, I'll find you a bobcat to cuddle. You're all right. I'll pass. They look like nasty things, bobcats. Beautiful hermit card. You really get that sense of nighttime. Look at the night sky. And he's off on his journey. I really like the wheel as well. It's like rolling on a river, and we're rolling. It could be Aslan, yeah. Beautiful. And we have the Justice card. They are wonderful. Have you got it, Claire? Have you got this deck? As I say, it's been out a while, 8 years, but, well, obviously that's why it's on Throwback Thursday. Sing it, Simon. Do you mean growl it, Jilly? Growl it. I just love the Hangman. There's so much to look at. Not obvious straight away, but there's the serpent wrapped around the tree, this little jug, little bird. Really beautiful. There's also the movie Born Free. Oh, I used to love that. It reminds me of my grandma, because she's got this, well, she had, my mum's got it now, because my grandma's long gone, but it's like a beautiful porcelain bird on a stand, and you twist the whole ornament, and it's a musical, mechanical, like what you get in music boxes, jewellery boxes, and it plays Born Free. And every time I hear Born Free now, it just makes me think of my grandma, because she used to sing every time she twisted her little porcelain bird, and that music, that tinny little music used to play. She used to sit singing Born Free. This is quite epic. Look at this for death. It's like the blackness is coming. He's not wanting to face it, you know, but there's this engulfing void, black void. Again, we got this gorgeous setting sun. And there's the two towers. You know, Jen, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, in Playdate, we had the death card. And lots of people were saying they didn't really pay much attention in the death card, particularly in the RWS, about the city that's in the background and the gateway into that city. But yeah, I just love this sort of sense of impending void, doom, darkness. But it's only what we fear it to be, isn't it? We don't know, it's unknown. And again, that unknown is represented by that black void. That looks like a card for our times. Yeah. I'm sorry if I'm missing any comments, but I'll keep looking. Temperance is beautiful. Look at her wings. Really gorgeous. And I love the setting suns in this deck. Really lovely. And some cards, you know, have lots of colour, and some have just enough. We have the Devil. Wow. And that reminds me a bit of Pagan Otherworlds. You know, the devil in the Pagan Otherworlds. Like where it's got like this cloak of everybody's, all these trapped souls. I like the Devil card. Yeah. The Tower is epic. And people, it's in proportion. Look at the figures. They're not like this big. They're in proportion, but look at and this is almost like a Japanese style art, isn't it? With those waves. Really gorgeous. You really get a sense of that. Not only the perils from above, but from below as well. Wow, that is ace. It's just gorgeous. YouTubers have been having plenty of issues, but we're still able to see the live, so I won't complain. Am I sticking or anything? Is it buffering and not behaving itself? Here's the star card. Beautiful. Look at that star. I mean, that's a star, isn't it? And have you seen Venus at the moment? Wow, Venus at the moment. I think it's only for another day or so. It's so vivid and bright. No issues here, that's good. Yeah. The moon is fantastic. Love the moon. The little crayfish, look. I love that star. Oh, too much cloud cover where you are. That's a shame. I've seen it a couple of nights now and it's just gorgeous. Very different, even though it follows the RWS system. You know, you've got the two young males that you'd normally see in like the Marseille style decks. But I love that they're kind of buried in the sunflowers. And of course the sunflower tracks the course of the sun throughout the day as it makes its way across the sky. And they're emulating that. They're facing the sun. They're basking in the sun's rays and following its course as well. Judgment. Wow, look at these. Beautiful. It's like a family, isn't it? A little baby, look. Just between the antlers. And then the last one of the majors is the World card, which is beautiful. You've got that golden sash here and the elements represented. Really lovely. So that's the majors, guy. What time are we on? 25 to. We're fine for time. Okay. So let's look at the minors, and they're equally as beautiful. Hen says, I'm only half looking. I dare not make any more purchases right now. I know. I'm exactly the same boat. Exactly the same boat. But you can write them down. You can have a wish list, and then when payday comes, you can then be more selective. I tend to do that. If I go impulsively and buy a deck, and then it comes, you're like, oh yeah, yeah. I remember now why I ordered this. It was because I watched such and such. But if you write them down, and then payday comes, you know, it's like anything, isn't it? When you haven't got any money, you want everything, and suddenly you've got some extra money, and you're like, what should I get? And you're more selective. I am anyway. So by writing it down, you can then look at all the decks that you've looked at and think, actually, I strayed. Says Claire. Here's the beautiful Ace of Cups. Gorgeous. The Two of Cups, look at that red passion behind. The colour of love. I'm the same. Look at the colours in that, it's really beautiful. Our Three of Cups. One of my favourite Four of Cups. I mean, I love the Four of Cups, but this one in particular, just look how luscious that is. Look at the landscape behind. We're just used to normally seeing somebody in front of a tree, aren't we? And this hand coming from a cloud. But he is actually going to go and reach it. He is actually going to greet it. So he's a little bit more open. Wiccan totally does that too. Here we have the Five. Again, quite traditional, but its own unique take. Kay wants this deck. The Six. So we've got flowers here, look. In the Six of Cups. That card of nostalgia. Interesting here as well. We've got that Seven of Cups with all those different opportunities. But it's actually making a selection, which we don't often see. We normally see some sort of shadowy figure, or the choices are there, and that sort of confusion or overwhelm. But it's actually reaching out and making a selection. It's the cup with a skull on it as well. That's a woman. How on earth could you possibly tell what gender that is, Selkie? I shouldn't have perhaps said he, but who knows? It can be any gender. I love this. This is very dramatic. Look at the sky. Christoph's Oracle is almost sold out already. He emailed me last night to say his sales had just gone through the roof, which is wonderful that we've rallied round and supported one of our own in the community, as we do. But isn't that dramatic? I love that card. 33.55 for the black and white version. That's not too bad. Not too bad at all. And there's going to be postage, isn't there, on top of that, but... Okay, so we have the Nine of Cups. Very RWS. It's It looks like he's just stepped out of the RWS card and just looking at it now. He's got up from that chair, he's turned around and he's gone to rearrange those cups so he can get a better look. Then we have the 10. We normally get like a family scene, but we've got that rainbow there that we're used to seeing with the 10 of cups. Beautiful. Our page of cups doesn't have a little fish jumping out, but it has some flowers. But again, you know, bursting into flower, efflorescent. Stunning. Knight of Cups. Look at that pink sky. Really gorgeous. Queen. I like the close-up of the ports. I think they're really nice. Kind of reminds me of like, oh, what's it called? Morgan Greer. You know, where you get that close-up look. Jen says, I definitely got caught up with the frenzy, so it'll be extra fun to see what I think when I can look at them in person. And I love supporting our community creators. Oh, for the raincoats, yeah, you bought both, didn't you? The tarot and the oracle. I just watched your, well, you'll know because I commented, I just watched your Journey Tokens frenzy as well. I'll have something of everything, please. Can't fault you. Our wands, Ace of Wands, beautiful. Look at that yellow. The 2. Did you see my pics comparing this deck to the Morgan Greer? No, where? Where have you posted them? That's funny, isn't it? That I mentioned Morgan Greer. Glad to help Christoph, yeah. He's a great guy, he really is. Love the 4. We get like those 4 kind of to make a structure. We haven't quite got that structure in place yet, but isn't it lovely? Our 5. This is very RWS. The high horse. 7. I mean, even the 8, which, you know, they probably could have got away with just doing the 8 ones, but look at the detail in the background. All the work that's gone into the Rocky Mountains, this beautiful path snaking between them, the cloud formations, just so much energy. Chris says, I'll repost in the Facebook group and tag you. Thank you. Simon just got contacted by Conrad Stain and he's doing a mini. I know. He's doing 5 new versions, but I've been speaking to Conrad this morning. We're going to be doing something in terms of giveaways and everything around the launch. So watch this space. He's such a great guy as well, Conrad. Really lovely chap. Here's our 9. And the 10. Look at that red earth and yellow sky. How amazing. Here's our page. The Knight. Excited about your OM set coming. Yeah. The owners of I forgot what they're called now. It's gone right out of my mind. Spirit of Old. The owners of Spirit of Old have joined the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, and have been ever since. Apparently somebody ordered some runes after the rune discussion the other day, or Owen, one of the two, and they joined the Facebook group and commented on the YouTube video. I asked if the cheese stands alone. The cheese? Jen, I don't know what you're saying. Here is our swords. Look at that. Gill in the handle, really beautiful. Beautiful ace of swords. And look how rocky the water is behind our two of swords lady here. Gorgeous. Three of swords. Oh no, I'm going to confuse the Brits and the Australians. Whoopsie. It doesn't take a lot, but at least we know what a biscuit is. It's dramatic, isn't it? The Three of Swords. I mean, it is a pierced heart, and the heart is actually illustrated right in the centre of her chest, but that's dramatic. I love the green sky as well. Four. Five. This deck has been at the back of my shelf for a while now. You reminded me how much I love it. And that, Gilly, that's exactly the reason why I do Throwback Thursday. Just to reconnect with former loves, you know, the ones that, as we're buying decks and bringing new decks in, other decks get pushed further and further to the backs of the shelves, don't they? And Throwback Thursday causes me to, and I've been lucky because I've been able to work, because I knew last week, because they were 50-50, I've not had to do a vote. I've been able to work with this a lot in the last week and falling in love all over again. It's just so beautiful. Whip it good. Now I know that one, and now I'm going to have that earworm in. I used to do the dance to that in the 80s. I'm not going to give you a demo. Here's our Nine of Swords. My Moonchild arrived today, Simon. I saw you post a picture. I think I liked it in the MSK Facebook group. How are you getting on with it? This is Rachel, by the way, who worked with like one deck for 20 years. Found us lot and has now got a ton of them. Look at that for the Ten of Swords. It's quite graphic. There is blood and things, but powerful image, right? Simon was a whippet dancer. Whip it good. Now, Paige. Oh, hi, Shane. Just seen. Love that sword. Good to see you. Beautiful. I love the close-up of the quartz, as I said. Really get to see his intention. Wow. I remember dancing to the likes of Saturday Night Wigfield. I loved Wigfield. It's a guilty pleasure. Best Ace of Pentacles. Look at how beautiful that card is. Punk rock days. As punk as I got was Toya Wilcox and Hazel O'Connor. Two of Pentacles. I'm not going to juggle these. I'll just hold them close to me. I might drop them. This is me. Might drop them. Or Jen. Three. I saw some hematite dice on the dice shop online, but they didn't have any 22-sided ones. They only went as high as 20. All right, for you to work with your major arcana. I just saw Rock Lobster. Yeah, I had the double A side, Rock Lobster and Planet Claire. Rock Lobster. I'll get a copyright strike if I'm not careful, doing all these sing-along. Beautiful. I was a punk. Had the Mohican. Wow, Amanda. Simon is an adolescent. I am. I think I'm the walking, talking, living, breathing Peter Pan. I'm still 17. And I've got Annie Lennox singing 17 again. Yeah, Jen. 9 of Pentacles will always be synonymous with you now. For that very first ever play date. Isn't that a beauty? Look how she's looking at the bird. Really gorgeous. Love Shack. Yeah, that's kind of their most commercial one, wasn't it? But it's okay, Simon. I don't think YouTube has heard those songs, especially growled the way I do. They're like, what is that? Is that actually a song? I want your money. Oh, look how deep that blue is. Isn't that beautiful? And these are almost like lanterns. Oh, so gorgeous. And it's reaching for a hand, look. The page. Pages, have you noticed? Whilst the knights, queens and kings are close up, the pages aren't. Which is quite interesting, because then we go to the close-ups for our courts. She's a beauty. And our king. So there we have it. Elwasson would like to see the devil card. Okay. Nina problem. This is the one that reminds me of Pagan Otherworlds. So we've got this beast with horns and wearing this kind of shawl with all body parts and skulls and bones. And love that card. Yeah, it's beautiful. And we've got these kind of chimney stacks. It's very kind of industrial. It's kind of like Deviant Moon meets Pagan Otherworlds. And the swirling night sky, look. And the pentacle above, which is the moon, within the moon. No, Rachel, no. It's not dark at all, Deviant Moon. Any other cards? We've got a few minutes left before I announce the 2 brand new decks to go up. But any other cards that anybody might have missed before I showed them before you came in. It looks like a grotesque Christmas tree to me. But I think it's... if I show you... it'll probably be the last card, because this has been used to death, so it's not in order. Yeah, here we go. So that's the devil card from the Pagan Otherworlds. And do you see what I mean? It's kind of similar. Yeah. How about the chariot? Oh, the chariot's beautiful. I can show you the chariot before we go. I might have missed any other suggestions, but you want to see the chariot again. Put that back there. And our chariot is number 7. There you go. There's the chariot. But with a kangaroo. A horny kangaroo. Why? You lot. Okay, so that's the Efflorescent Tarot by Peony Archer. Naomi posted a link, so I better end up getting the black and white. No, I'm not. Well, I might. So voting will go up tonight for a complete fresh start, because, as I said last time, both decks were neck and neck, so they both had a go. So the vote for next week is between the Triple Goddess Tarot or another old classic, Tarot of the Witches. Now, this is also available as the James Bond Tarot, because it was the one that Jane Seymour used in Live and Let Die as solitaire. So Triple Goddess or Tarot of the Witches will be your choice for next week. All right, where are we with time? 4 minutes to 9. Becca is live, going to go live. Simon, do you happen to have the yoga something or other oracle? No. Daniel, I've got, or did have, I might have gifted it. I've got the Embrace Your Light, I think it is, by Danielle Nicole. I've got Star Child and Moonchild, and I kind of think that that's enough for me, for that art style, that aesthetic, you know, the pastels and the collagey kind of light worker, Ascension. Yeah, I've kind of got my fill. I don't really need to add anything more into that, but they are beautiful and I do appreciate them. You get what I mean? Yeah. And also, you know, there's the Ascension Tarot that's on Kickstarter at the moment as well, which is very similar. But also the Muse Tarot is very much of that similar art style and genre as well. So I've got more than enough. Anyway, I'm off, guys. So enjoy the rest of your evening or day, wherever you are. Friday tomorrow, so there will be a Quarren stream, the last one of the week, which will be 5 p.m. here in the Hermit's Cave, and we'll just have a regular chat, I think. Oh no, someone did ask if I'd talk about my favourite companion books, so I might do that, or I might save that till next week, we'll see. Anyway, have a great day, evening, wherever you are, and look after yourselves and stay safe, and until next time, guys, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.